let's talk about defense first, because
Mhm.
this is pretty much a throwaway point. You can get some time off of it, especially if you kill enemy sniper. But let's just talk about basic positioning. So you're gonna have your dispenser here. You're gonna have your sentry around here, maybe a little bit more aggressive. You could also have it in the funny spot and then pull it back. Your medic is going to be generally in the dispenser
Yep.
with this pyro around here. Your demo is going to be on the chicken wire, probably peeking, spamming over hill, spamming cart. Your heavy is going to either be in tunnel or on the hill or in the flank. If he's in the flank, he's pretty much committing to dying. So this means that you might have to
I
pull out a
prefer
little bit
to
earlier for
hide
him.
inside the tunnel. I prefer
You
to
prefer
hide.
tunnel? Yeah, tunnel is the best spot.
There's
If
time where
he's
Trying to go
tunnel, he
behind.
needs to
die
watch out for
by-
spies.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I mean. There's time where I die by doing that hold, so that it my responsibility to protect for myself.
If you're sitting here and you die to spy, that's your fault, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like this positioning most because you can stop soldiers from getting behind. You can stop like demos, pyros, spies from getting behind if they're not careful. Yeah, anybody who would want to sack on your med when you leave. Flank is going to be on flank. Pretty much you have to stay on this hill because as soon as you give this up, you can't spam anymore, right? Like, you need to be at the high ground in order to deal damage as a scout or a soldier on flank, so you have to stay on this hill. And if you're forced off of this hill, then you've lost flank. You can't really recommit unless you kill the enemy sniper and you're willing to get some help from your demo with spam. So you have to stay here. Lots of soldiers, myself included, like to sit in here for a few seconds at the very beginning, get some spam off, especially if I'm running a banner. Shoot here, shoot here, shoot here. Danger of this, if your scout or your soldier in here, is if they swing sniper wide, then you're dead. So you need to be really passive.
So
Yeah.
should I be in here or kind of back down near the heavy if he's playing flank?
I don't like to be here as a scout. I prefer to be back here.
Okay.
On the hill where my heavy would be, basically, if he was holding. Good question.
Should I stay here or should I be?
If your heavy isn't here with you, which it sounds like Haga wants to be in tunnel, you should still stay here with your soldier. You should probably be like the last person out, just because you're the fastest. So if your soldier has to back up, you should stay here and just try to get some pressure before you leave, ideally. If your flank gets pushed out and they have to leave like either through Jenkins or over hill, you have to leave. Because if they're in flank, you've lost this. Like demo can spam you, soldier can spam you. Yeah. So you need to leave as soon as you lose flank. If you kill sniper, then you can stay in and fight this because you have such a positional advantage that your demo can peek and get free time. But if you don't get sniper, you should not ever be peeking. You should just be playing to leave. When you leave, be careful for people sacking from tunnel, for spy decloaking on you, for a soldier trying to do some crazy shit and bomb in. Because when you're leaving, you're the most vulnerable. So make sure that your NG stays alive. You should be leaving if cart gets to this turn right here. At that point, you were like within spam range of anybody who's on cart, so you need to be getting out. Because it's a battle of attrition and they have more resources generally. You should be getting out if you lose your NG, your demo, or your sniper, any one of those players, or if you lose two of any other players. So like if you lose like a scout and a spy, you should probably get out. If you lose a scout and a soldier, you should definitely get out. So NG, demo, sniper, if you lose those, you get out. Plus med, but you should not be losing med. If you get forced or your med dies on first, you have to play second differently. So I'll talk about that after I talk about the standard second hold. Standard second hold, we've gone over this a few times, but I'll still go over it in just as much detail as I normally would. Your demo and your sniper want to be as aggressive as possible over a hill. You just want to be fucking their shit up as aggressive as possible because really, there's not a good way for like attackers to fight this. They have to just kind of sit here and jiggle peek, or they have to send people in through Jenkins, and neither is good for them, right? So you want to be as aggressive as possible with your sniper, with your demo, and your medic should be playing close with your pyro. And then your heavy is going to be over here in side tunnel, generally with a soldier. If your soldiers got this on lock, or if they're just fighting main tunnel a lot, your heavy can rotate over. Generally, I prefer to have soldier rotate over and just have heavy stay in side tunnel, but it's just whatever your soldier and heavy want to do.
I think
Of
that's
course,
what
you're gonna
we'll
have
do.
dispenser. Have soldier rotate over.
Yeah, because there's a lot more.
He's a lot faster.
It's a bigger choke as well, so it's easier to get splash damage down on who's ever on the
Yeah.
cart.
On my advanced team, my heavy likes to play closer to main. And I stay here. I'm not a big fan of it. I think the soldier's better to rotate over, especially because he's just more mobile. Like you can be from there to here in one rocket. It's really good. Anyway, dispenser, of course, gun either here or on the rocks. And you're going to be expecting sacks. So there's two ways to play against a sack. Either you are being given a bunch of hill presence, like their sniper dies, their demo dies, something like that, and you're allowed to be super aggressive. If that's the case, be aggressive, and your med is going to be here, and just be careful. Like, if you are so far up in their face, it's going to be really hard for them to sack. If you are not being given space, if you're kind of being pressured at the very beginning, you have to play shutter with your med. So your med will play in shutter, your heavy will be sitting around here instead of inside tunnel, gun normal spot. Pretty much everybody else is in their normal positions, you know, soldier side tunnel, demo, sniper, fighting hill, a little bit more passive, and you're just waiting for sacks here. If you're on hill and you're expecting sacks, they're probably going to come from tunnel. So your scout's going to be watching main tunnel probably from here or from here, and he needs to be calling that. And then you can rotate eyes. Your NG can look at them, your heavy can look at them if he's playing main tunnel, your soldier can bomb over, because medic is kind of susceptible if he's here and you're playing super aggressive, but the only place that they can sack from is main tunnel, right? Whereas if you're playing passive, they can sack from side tunnel, hill, or main tunnel.
Yeah, that's very important, Raze. I need you to, and it should be very easy for you to rotate between combo and main here, like jumping up on that shack and jumping up to us.
Or Emperor Pink. Just say aggressive, passive, or standard, so I can be informed where I can place myself in.
Kega, I just want you staying side tunnel.
Yes, side tunnel, passive, near shoulder.
The only time you shouldn't be side tunnel is if you're trying to refight point from tracks because you've lost it, or if your medic is playing for sacks. But you're still basically in side tunnel if your medic's playing for sacks. You're just, instead of looking into side tunnel, you're looking into side tunnel and hill. So that's the only thing that changes. Otherwise, you should pretty much always be here.
So if I call shutter, we're expecting sacks, and this is where medic will play. If I say forward hold, that's the one up there.
The arrow sign. Can I give me what tunnel? The main tunnel, or just stay inside side tunnel, to be honest?
Just stay inside tunnel.
Noted. We'll take note.
If you're called to go main tunnel, then you should, but otherwise, pretty much just stay side tunnel. A situation where heavy might watch main tunnel instead of side is if your soldier has side tunnel by himself, but again, you can just switch those two roles and then it's better, right?
Yeah, and the standard hold would just be hold behind shack here. Like the standard.
If you're not super aggressive, your demo and your sniper just kind of peeking hill.
Well, the problem we've been having with and you were there for this one. I had no support when we were aggressive. Like my sniper wasn't there with me, my pyro wasn't there with me. Obviously scout wouldn't be there, but if I wanted to use in, like he wouldn't be close. So like players are just out of position when we forward hold. So when I say forward hold, guys, I need my players there with me.
A forward hold is kind of something that you transition into. It's not really like a call that you make necessarily. Like when I played demo, I would just keep on taking pressure with my sniper and with my pyre and with my med, right? And eventually we'd end up here just because we pressured out the enemy team. It isn't really something where like we're planning to push. Like we're back here and then we're like, okay, I want to forward hold instead, and we walk forward. It's more of like a gradual thing, and you can't do that without your players. So you just need to be aware that your players are with you. And if your sniper, your pyro, and your med can't come forward with you, then don't go forward.
Oh, okay.
I have a little question.
Yeah.
Since I'm holding main or whatever, to check if they rotate to side tunnel. If they rotate side tunnel, should I just rotate side tunnel as well to catch them out, or should I save?
No. So as a scout, you're really like vulnerable in small areas, which I'm sure you know. Like being here as a scout sucks. Yeah, I'd much rather be here. So if they're inside tunnel, you can get a little bit aggressive and just annoy them. And if they try to back up from your heavy, and your soldier, then you can just pounce on them, right? Like they're in a really bad position.
Well, there's probably going to be a mini sentry in there too, so
Yeah.
either
I could throw a cleaver or whatever just to make them bleed.
Yeah, just annoy them.
Also,
mainly.
from this position, you can spy check for your NG as well as jump up to meet the combo from the shack.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a very mobile spot for scout.
Yeah.
I've been told from my mentor, winger isn't as good as it used to be.
Winger, yeah, cleaver's better. Winger is really good in 6s when Highlander. It's generally just better to have like a cleaver or the pretty boys.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's better, pretty boy or cleaver?
That is entirely subjective. I personally prefer pretty boys, but cleaver is just better on some maps, like on product, for example. It's really dependent on how much beam you're taking. Like if you're taking Ubers, you want to have a pistol, but if there's really good spam lanes, then you'd prefer cleaver, right? So even on product where you are taking Ubers, the spam lanes are so good that you could probably get away with cleaver anyway. But yeah, good question.
Okay.
Can you talk about pushing back in?
Yeah, so you guys I'm sure are familiar with Upward. Upward Second. This is a very similar concept. Like Upward Second is exactly the same as Vigil Second. There is a hill, there is a tunnel, there is a side tunnel even. It's exactly the fucking same. So you play it the same. If you want to retake, like if you have player advantage or if you have big Uber advantage, then you will come out through main tracks and you'll work your sniper. You'll watch this sight line, you'll watch on the cart, and the rest of you will start walking up and getting aggressive. So really, you just need your sniper in this. As soon as your sniper is posted here, their cart time pretty much stops. And then you can walk at their cart and kill them. You want to kill their cart time first, because they can get away with cart time while you're killing their combo, right? So you want to stuff cart first, which is going to be easy because they're at low ground. And then once they're stuffed, you can start taking hill again. But you need your sniper. If you don't have your sniper, then you are just going to be in a terrible sightline. Because your sniper can take SVS, or he could just sit here, and you know that there's only one place the sniper can be, because your sniper's here. He can only be on hill. And if you rotate far, you can get a pretty good spam on him.
Alright, so everyone hear that? We don't walk through shutter. Like, me as Devilman, I can sticky up shutter, but that allows us to rotate around and come back to tracks. So if we're ever fighting point, or they're getting cart time and we're getting respawns, and I don't make a get out call, that's like I shouldn't have to call that out, right? That should just be a natural instinct for us to do the dog leg around there.
And the reason that you do that, right, is because shutter is really easy to hold. If their demo or sniper or soldier are heavy up, soldier or heavy could just hold either side of it. Demo can sticky it, sniper could stare at it, even your pyro could just sit here to stuff it. It's a lot harder to do those things to an entire, like, half of the point. So shutter's just really bad. If you know their demo and sniper are dead, you might be able to shove your way through the heavy soldier, pyro, whoever's here. But even then, it's just way better to come and fight from tracks. And even then, I don't really like repushing second unless I have huge Uber ad or huge player advantage. Like, if they have 0 cart time, then sure. Like, if their cart's still in fucking tunnel and we get spawns, fighting it is okay, even. But otherwise, I really just want player Uber advantage.
All right.
And let's talk about getting out of second. Oh wait, what?
What would be the get out criteria? Like sentry's dead and medic's dead, sniper's dead and demo's dead.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to just say like one definitive thing or a group of definitive things are the reason to get out. Generally, I will call to get out if your demo and sniper are dead, or if your NG and sniper are dead. If you have like 2 important classes down and you don't have Uber, if you still have Uber, you can stay in. You could be down like fucking 5 players, but if you have Uber, you will be able to get enough time using that Uber to get your spawners back up, just stuffing them with whatever class you have alive. Okay. So if the gun goes down, if your medic is dead and another pick is down, like another important pick, that's when you'd get out. Or if the cart like is here, right, and you're down players, you should leave. Like if you think that they're gonna cap, you should just leave.
Okay.
And getting out. You should pretty much be getting out through spawn or through this little drop down area. Going the long way around, like if you're on hill, going the long way around, like you are so bombable. You can get caught out so easily. You're so slow. Just try to get out through spawn at like every time. If you're flank, you can escape through the flank. That's fine. But you can't really be like escaping through tracks. It's too open.
Pink keeps going through flank and shutter.
Yeah.
I mean burger.
Yeah.
I keep telling her not to do that, but
I didn't know that there was.
Feel safer.
I didn't know that there was a door through spawn. So now I know.
Yeah, the spawns are connected. This, like, if you have players with you, like if you have a demo or a pyro or a scout or something, this could be okay if you think that you're gonna get caught out. Like if they're really aggressive and you think that you're gonna get caught out if you go that way, this is all right. But then you face this issue. You're crossing a huge fucking sight line, and all the players are gonna be shooting at you, and this rotates really hard. So, ideally, just go the shorter route.
All right.
Same thing for third. Like this, the doors don't lock right away. They stay open for like
5 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess that's why you probably were confused last time we played this map, and I told you to get out, and then you ran to tracks.
Yeah, I was like, what?
I was like, no, come back to spawn.
There's a door there?
Our third's pretty. I feel like. I mean, well, you're the soldier, and you said you felt like you weren't able to do anything. I don't know if that meant offense or defense, but
Third is really hard for soldier in general.
I felt like
when I reviewed your demos, I thought that your thirds were pretty good in theory. You just like didn't have players with you when you went to stuff flank, but otherwise your thirds were pretty good.
Well, now that we have everyone here, talk about stuffing flank.
All right, stuffing flank. So, do you guys all know like how to hold third normally? Do I need to go over that, or should I just?
Yeah, me playing.
Just go over it anyways. Get everyone on the same
page. So, holding third, you really don't want to be on concrete. This is too passive. You want to be on tracks, like around here on tracks, even in front of the point. You want to have your demo on tracks, aggressive, medic healing him from a bit more passive, pyro flaming around, heavy watching flank, soldier watching flank, scout also watching flank, but he's allowed to rotate a lot. Like scout can just kind of be wherever he needs to be. He can fight flank, he can fight main, whatever he wants to do. Your sniper probably just wants to sit with combo on this map, or if their combo is rotating flank, he can get up and watch lockers as well. The biggest problem with this hold is that it's super breakable if they go flank. So if your demo, your pyro, your medic, your heavy, all of you are all in this area holding the main point, all that they have to do is get a sniper and a demo here and you die. So the way to stop that is that first your flank members have to call this. So your spy, your soldier, your heavy maybe need to call this. They need to be seeing, okay, they're rotating through burger sign all the way to locker room. And once they do that, your demo has to immediately call, okay, we're going to meet them. And this has to be your demo and your pyro and your med all rotate across, because you know that their sniper's not staring at you in burger sign, right? Because you can see if he was. So it's okay to cross this sight line, even though it feels wrong, right? So you cross here, and you're going to sit in ladders with your demo, your pyro, your medical a little bit more passive, and you're just going to spam the shit out of them. This sucks. Being here and taking 8 stickies is terrible. I don't want to fucking be here and take 8 stickies. So they will have to leave or use into you. And this is a better exchange for you because they are using super far away. The cart's all the way over there. What are they going to do if they use here? Absolutely fucking nothing. You're just going to milk for a second and then walk back into them. And then leave. You don't over-aggress. While this is happening with your combo, your heavy and your soldier absolutely have to fight as well. Because if they just have spam from one direction, it's pretty easy for, you know, the enemy pyro to just look over and prevent anything from happening to you. So that's why you have to split their attention. You have to fight with your soldier, your heavy, maybe your scout, even your sniper around this way as well. And then when both of these things are happening, your combo's fighting from ladders and your flank is fighting from behind the rock, they're stuck here. This is like a little kill chamber. So if they start rotating flank, that's what has to happen, or you just lose this point. If they're allowed to get here, you've lost. It's all over. Like, you would have to pull off a fucking miracle to win after their combo is set up and flank this deep.
So, do you guys hear that? Like, when I call a rotate from now on, like that's what needs to happen, puppers and pink. Because what's been happening mostly is, at first, it was both pink and puppers were baiting me. I was going over there and I was dying by myself after I called the after they got called that the combo was going flank. And then puppers started rotating with me, but me and puppers couldn't really do anything because we weren't receiving heals. So pink, you need to also rotate over there with us as well. You need to stop hiding in your little safety corner on concrete.
Now, if for whatever reason their combo doesn't bring sniper with them, which the entire reason of this is to get sniper here. So if they're not bringing sniper, they're kind of being stupid. But if they don't and the sniper is still in main here, you just need somebody to check for it. Like, scout is free at this point to just like be looking. Pretty much everybody is free to just be looking into main. Plus their flank can see into main and see if sniper's there. So you really don't need to be worrying about somebody peeking you and killing you.
Okay.
During this rotate. I know when I played med and I was called to rotate here, it felt so wrong. I'm like, I'm crossing through every sight line I've ever known. But just gotta bare your teeth and get it done. So that's like that's the normal hold. That is like the flank kind of hold. You can sit here for a while, by the way. If they keep on trying to fight flank, you can just kind of stay here for as long as you need to. If they try to fight burger sign, same thing. You can just kind of stay here and spam them out. The only thing that this is weak to is if they come main and you just rotate over and you're good again.
Sorry, I just want to see how that feels with Demo Man.
Sure.
Now I'm sure Kega's dying to ask, but Kega, don't go dungeon.
If offense or defense?
On defense.
Oh, that was a dumb shit I did.
Your soldier, I'll talk about this. This is kind of funny. Your soldier can go hell if he wants to, or dungeon. Etney does this a lot. Like, I was reviewing some Etney demos to see how he plays. He does this weird thing where he will sit in this corner and come out and just spam. And like, if their combo's going flank, everybody who's here is going to lose a 1v1 to a soldier, so he can just kind of sit here and annoy the fuck out of them and kill their cart pushers. And then is a super easy rotate because you just do one jump and you are like already basically all the way back into the flank to watch it. So if you wanted, your soldier could play in hell/dungeon, but it's like kind of an alien theory.
You're kind of giving up flank when you do that.
Kinda, yeah.
No, you are giving up flank.
Calls. You're giving up flank in exchange for them not being able to push cart anymore, which to some people is a positive exchange. I don't think it's good, but it's just a theory. All right, I want to talk about passive holding third because you can do it, but it's really, really, really difficult. It entirely relies on your sniper again. So if you're passive holding, your gun's probably going to be all more passive on tracks. Your med's going to be on concrete, ideally ready to leave. You know, your heavy on concrete, demo either on tracks or on concrete. Pyro's looking around. Your flank at this point has probably been pushed all the way into white room. So your soldier is sitting here. Your scout might be, ready to rotate either way. And this is absolutely vital. You have to have your sniper staring down this sight line. Because as soon as their sniper is allowed to peek this, you can't even hold third anymore. So you absolutely have to have your sniper peeking from somewhere to stop that from happening, or to stop this peek from happening. But if sniper peeks from ladders, you can just kill him. He's too close.
Could you have your sniper go? Could we have our sniper go to drop down your spawn? The one, Jared.
Here?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I've seen some teams will bring their sniper into white room and try to take SVS from here, which you're getting like a lot more space when you do this, but he's also a lot more vulnerable because, I mean, this is a small space. He can get bombed and die here really easily. Plus, he's right next to a cliff. So you just need somebody to be with your sniper, and you need him to be watching flank. This is if like you're just getting shit on in DM, or if they're already in ladders and they're just trying to push up cart, because you can stop cart pretty well as a demo, like from here, especially if your heavy is kind of jiggle peeking this and drawing attention off of you. But as soon as sniper peeks, it's all over. So this hold kind of sucks. The only reason that you really want to be holding this is if you're hopeful to retake third and play it normally again. Otherwise, don't do this. Just because your sniper just has to be better than the enemy sniper. And like it's a 50-50 sometimes.
Is your boyfriend listening to Skyrim?
Yes. I had to listen for a second. I'm sorry if you can hear background noise. Let's see. Leaving. Ideally, again, you're leaving through spawn. If you aren't, you want to be getting through tracks as quickly as possible. I've seen some people try to like leave through drop down because they're like, oh no, I'm being chased. I need to get out. This is worse. This is way worse than if you just left through tracks. So don't go drop down. Like even if you think that you're gonna die and that you're just trying to duck out, you will definitely die if you go down there. And talk about holding last. Yeah?
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I feel like one of our biggest problems for defending third is I've seen so many times like a big sack, and not even really just a big sack, like it's just a soldier manages to get in there and get our medic, and we lose the hold because of that. A lot.
Yeah, there are a lot of really good bombs on third. Like you can hot bomb, you can bomb off this shit. So the way that you stop that is first, your heavy has to have his head on a swivel to like look behind him and shoot soldier in the sky as soon as it's called. Your scout is kind of playing in this weird in-between area, like around rocks, right? Either help flank or help main. So if he sees a soldier, I mean, he can just meet him in the sky, right? And then finally, your pyro needs to be able to look up. So if your medic is dying to a bomb, like first he has to get past the sentry, then he has to get past a heavy and a scout, then he has to get past a pyro. Like there are 4 levels of protection to stop your med from dying to a soldier. So if your med is dying to a soldier, somebody's having a skill issue. Like you just need to kill him. Like even if he bombs super high and sinks into this corner, he has to get past the sentry to do that and a heavy. And your medic shouldn't be in this corner anyway. Like just if you play more aggressive, you're less susceptible to soldier bombs. That's what I have to say about that.
I think somebody knocked on his door. That's why he's deafened.
Trying to think of anything else that you could do against like a soldier. The main worry when a soldier bombs is the spy, actually. Like if I see a soldier bombing, he's my second priority. My first priority is turning around because you know the spy's gonna decloak as soon as a soldier starts bombing, especially on like payload. So ideally you can take care of the soldier quickly and then kill spy. Last. I've talked a lot about last, so I'm sorry if I am a little bit wordy here, but there's a lot to talk about because last is a very complicated point. So if you're holding aggressive, it's really good. So aggressive is your demo is like here, basically on the tracks. Your heavy is watching red room. Your soldier is either in red room with heavy, or he's really aggressive, like here to spam people trying to get into red room on the roof there. Your scout's with your demo somewhere, again, ready to rotate flank or be with combo. Your pyro is around your demo. Your medic is just a little bit more passive than your demo, and you've got your NG all set up. This is really good for a few reasons. One, demo can spam big door from here, and you can spam red room, and you can spam man. So anywhere the enemy team goes, your demo can mulch them. 2, you are not giving them access to flank at all because you're holding so aggressive. Like in order to get into flank, they have to either walk past your player here, your soldier, your heavy. I did not mean to hit myself. or they have to drop down and go this entire like long route. And either way, they're still gonna peek you doing this route. Like you're going to see them through Red Room, going down here and getting into flank. So you should be able to rotate to stop that. And it's just better to be aggressive because they get less cart time. If they do start like dropping down, going the long flank route, their entire combo, then you do need to back up and get your soldier back into flank here to fight them and rotate demo to fight. But that really shouldn't be happening too much. So this is like the ideal forward hold. Then there's the passive hold, which involves, well, there's the normal hold, which involves medic around this corner area. Demo still kind of aggressive, watching main. But now your heavy is in flank instead with his soldier. And your scout is rotating, ready to fight flank or ready to fight main. Your pyro is once again around your combo. This isn't quite as good. I don't really like to sit here. If we're at like even Ubers, this is fine. If we're at even Ubers, this hold up here is fine as well. If you're at disad though, there is the passive hold, which sucks. Please don't ever do this unless you're absolutely forced to. So there's a dispenser here with your medic. Your demo is peeking around these computers here. You have your heavy and your soldier in flank. Just standing up here, spamming really. Trying to get as aggressive as possible to make sure that they cannot get into big door. That's not a big thing. If the sniper gets into big door, you've pretty much lost. You have to spam him out or he will just kill you one by one. Around here, like if you're this passive, you're playing to rotate. Because you're hoping that they're going to use into you and you can rotate out and not lose anybody. I feel like I'm being incoherent. There are just so many things to talk about that I don't know what to talk about first.
Keep talking.
Just keep talking? Yeah. Rotating. Rotating on last is very important. As you can see, this is a pretty massive last, and it's unique in that there aren't tiny little passageways. Like everything is open. Even the relatively small chokes are still pretty big by like last standards. So you can rotate a lot. If you're playing super aggressive and they drop down into big door and they're fighting you and it looks like they're going to Uber, you have so much space to rotate out. Like you can be all the way out before their Uber even ends. So you need to play to rotate, especially if you're playing in this like more passive area. You need to be able to play to rotate right, so you cannot let sniper get into big door. Are there any questions about last? I really sound like a madman when I'm talking about last.
So heavy, when we lost third, and should I rotate to the flank hole or just go to red room depending on where the cart is at?
I think that you should always start in red room.
Start in red room?
Yeah.
Heavy? If we lost third already, should I rotate to the flank or red room to defend, to be honest?
Red room.
Just red room, okay. Fair enough.
Because from red room, you can look down and stop cart time, and if you lost third and you're even, the first thing the enemy team's probably going to do is either sack or work sniper into big door, and you can kind of prevent both of those things, or at least hinder it by being in red room and get super aggressive.
Okay.
Or you could
so when I like in my mindset, my old boomer mindset be like lost third, go to flank. But yet it depending on how bad it is. Or
yeah.
It wasn't even that bad, so I usually just boomer to flank area. If we have even or not a lot or not so much to like left in our team, not like if no one really lost within the team, like not a lot, like enough player, then maybe just go red room, right?
Okay. Speaking from a purely cart-based perspective,
yeah,
red room is so much better than being in flank because you are a lot closer to the cart and you're able to rotate a lot closer and still be at high ground.
Depending on how much Uber we have, if we lost our medic in third, how much player available, so it basically based on that. So just go to red room.
Ideally, yeah.
Based on player wise.
Because the biggest, okay. the way that you break last, there's two ways. Either you get sniper into big door on offense and you wait to get picks and then you go through big door because you're really close. Or you go to red room because red room's also really close and you can spam and you can use through and be right on top of the enemy combo. So you need to have somebody watching red room. And as soon as heavy is in flank, there's nobody left to watch red room other than your demo, but your demo's already watching main and big door, so he shouldn't really need to watch all three things because he can get overwhelmed super easily. So you want to be here as a heavy, but if you're forced out, if they are set up right outside of red room really well, or if they have a sniper in big door who is preventing you from like getting to red room or leaving red room, and you're just gonna get like crunched on, then you have to be in flank. So to me, flank is a secondary place to go as a heavy.
Yeah. Okay, at least I will sub that into my brain. Thank you, dear Cam.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear Cam.
I feel that we lose last a lot because the enemy team comes through flank. Like I don't know like what triggers it. I can't remember exactly. I just remember us losing quite a few rounds because they were just able to storm into our flank and we couldn't stop them.
Okay. There's a few ways to stop that. First, if you're playing really aggressive, your demo is able to shoot the people who are not in flank yet and who are rotating. And he's able to just turn around and shoot the people who are in flank. But really, if they're going flank, then you've probably already been pushed out of this red room area. So your heavy's probably in flank, and he can fight that as well. So getting this high ground is really nice. You really just need your heavy and your soldier, and ideally your scout too, if you're really fighting for it, to hold the flank. And something that I see like Poseidon do a lot, playing invite heavy, is he will sit here and just get tanked. Soldiers can also do this because your medic is going to be able to heal you from the passive hold, and you can hold flank this way. If they use into flank, then you have to refight them, not from down here. I see too many teams just try to fight them like from the low ground. You absolutely have to bring like your med, basically your entire combo through flank and fight them this way. Because then now they're kind of at a disadvantage. Like they're stuck in a small area compared to you. Like you're also stuck in a small area, but you're the aggressor, so you can back up a lot more easily than they can. So if they're getting into flank, fight them through this far flank area. In order to prevent them from just getting into flank at all, hold big door well with your demo and your sniper, and have players who are committed to watching flank.
Okay. Let's say there's not going to be an Uber exchange on flank, right? Like it's just them aggressing, seeing what they can get. Where should our medics stand? Because there's been some unfortunate incidents of pill spam, hitting our medic for a lot. Because she normally stands where our dispenser is, the default dispenser spot.
It's a good question. Ideally, you're not in the passive hold, so your medic is playing either here or here. But if you are in the passive hold and they're fighting flank, you kind of have to stand here and hope that your players can prevent the pill spam. And if there's too much pill spam, then you have to rotate to the right side in order to still be able to heal your flank members. Or you have to rotate here into a sight line to heal your flank members. Or just play like as far back as possible. Like, don't hug the wall, I guess. Just try to play farther back. There's no good place for a medic to stand when they're pushing flank other than in flank. But I feel like that's too committal for most meds. Or most situations, even. I think you guys have offense doing pretty well, but
I think
in my opinion, there's one spot on offense that bothers me personally as a sniper. Is that Cam will call for me to go to big door, without flank being cleared first. So I'm trying to charge up a shot and pick a corner.
Holding red. That was last.
Yeah, but it's not just the one incident.
That was my mistake there. I should rotate to flank.
Okay, so
after looking at red room for a bit. That was my mistake there.
So if you're trying to work sniper into big door, you need to have flank, of course. you can leave like one player to look at red room. I remember talking about this last time we spoke about Vigil. You can just leave like your Angie to watch red room. He's gonna be in main a lot of time, but he'll also have a dispenser up here for the rest of his team, and he can watch this. Scout could also watch it, or just your combo is not gonna be on this roof for the most part, so they're gonna be around to watch it. So your heavy can rotate into flank. Ideally, what's happening is your soldier is posted up here, winning the spam fight, getting arrows from his med and such, and you have a scout who's kind of on low ground, who's ready to fight this, so that you can't get walked at. And if you are getting walked at, then the rest of your combo needs to go, okay, fuck red room. That's not as important as keeping our sniper alive, and come over and fight this.
Alright. Should I just refuse to go to big door then until flank's in position?
Yeah. Like, unless you're just gonna get a fucking Jaybird special and like drop on somebody and kill them, you need your flank there so that you can sit there and like wait for a good shot. Alternatively, you could help flank out. Like if your flank is having trouble, you can drop down here and you can hard scope around this corner and get a heavy or a soldier or something. And then after you've gotten that kill, you can come and fight big door. So you can kind of help like fix the problem that you're having. But again, this is like not ideal because you like flank picks into a last aren't that amazing when the point is the cart. So yeah. Just don't go big door until your players are in position. Instead, just snipe through main. Or if you're holding red room really well, you could try to snipe red room as well. But that's about it.
Okay.
I had a question real quick from spawn. When do you bring your medic out as pyro? Or when should medic leave spawn?
On first?
Yes.
Alright, so if they are leaving, like if their sentry has been pulled or if their sniper has left, then you've won the point and your medic is safe to come out. That's pretty much when. Or if you know they're about to leave, you can start getting your med out. You want to get your med out early so that your team can get buffs before they stack onto second. So when their sniper dies or leaves, when their NG dies or leaves, or when their demo dies or leaves, that pretty much signals the end of the first hold, so you can bring your med out then. And after everybody gets buffed to sack, you should probably take your med back, just so the spy doesn't like jump on you. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for their view. Hopefully I made sense on last. There's a lot of...
To be honest, last me as heavy on defending last, it good. It's actually really beneficial based on how close the cart is, how much we are down, and if we have Uber, etc. So thank you, Dear Cam, for that part.
Sure thing.